Hello everyone, there has been a lot of talk about VLANs and people ask me of what importance is a VLAN to my network, and today I'll be trying to do a short demonstration of how important VLANs can be important for us in our network. First, I'd like to say that a VLAN stands for a virtual local area network. So generally once you have a switch and devices are connected to the switch, you can consider it a LAN. But it's possible even within one switch to have multiple LANs. The importance of a VLAN is that all of us might be connected to a particular switch, but maybe we don't want some people to access some other services. So we are going to basically use an illustration of the GHS secretariat here. I'm going to rename this one GHS, and let's assume this is personnel. This is the PM's office. And in this office, we want Mom Maria and Solange to have access to each other and maybe access this printer, but we don't want them to have access to Prof's computer. But since they are connected in the switch, obviously they can see each other. So I'm going to go ahead and just assign IP addresses to these computers. So Prof's machine has this IP address, the 20, and all these other machines have this IP. By default, you have a VLAN 1 on all switches, so all switches are on the native or the default VLAN. You can check that out by simply going to the switch. Let's take configure. We will take the show VLAN. You see that it's going to show you that you have let me try and explain this. You see you have VLAN 1, which is the default VLAN, and it has all the switch port assigned. Apart from that, you have these 102 to 105, which are for other services. I don't want to talk about them, like the token ring, the FTP, and all of those. So these are the VLANs that are on this port. So what we are going to do is to connect. We are going to connect these devices to particular ports. So let's start with Prof's machine, and let's connect Prof to port 20. This is IP20. Let's connect Solange to some 10, port number 10, so that we can remember. Let's connect Mom Maria to port number 11, this IP11. And finally, let's connect the printer. The printer is port number 12. So you realize that naturally, because all of these people belong to the default VLAN, they should be able to talk to each other. So if I use Solange's machine and I go to the command prompt, I can easily ping 192.168.1.20, which is Prof. 1.20 is Prof. You see that it's replying. Same as I can ping that printer 1.12, and it's going to reply. So now the problem is, in a typical network, we don't want these people to have access to some of these machines. Yes, here we have the GHS secretariat here, but you could have another person here. Finally, when you have fiber optic, you might have someone like the executive president. You don't want them having access to his machine, even though they have access to Prof's machine. But we are all using one network, so that is where VLANs come in. We are going to talk some other topics in the subsequent videos, like private VLAN, community VLAN, isolated VLAN. Before we get to Mr. Mendoza's office, it's going to get a little more complicated because a device can only belong to one VLAN. So let's assume a case in Mr. Mendoza's office down here. You see that Mr. Hosseini and Smith, they need to talk to each other and talk to the server, maybe. Then now this means that you need to put all of them together in one VLAN. But we want that all three of them should have access to all four of them should have access to the server. Then Mr. Hosseini and every other person should not have access to the universal machine. So that is when you start having isolated VLANs, private VLANs. We are going to talk on that later. So let's come back to this port. You see that Prof's laptop is connected on port 20. So what we are going to do now is try to put Prof on a different VLAN. So we go back to our switch, and so I'm just going to go ahead and rename this switch GHS so that it will be more easier for us to recognize. So now I'm going to create a VLAN 20 to assign Prof. So Prof is on VLAN 20, and I'm going to call that VLAN admin. So if we go back to the VLAN information, you will now see that what there is VLAN admin. So let's create another VLAN. Let's create VLAN 10 and also VLAN 30. Now let's see all the VLANs. You now see that I have VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30. VLAN 10. Oh, we haven't given a name to VLAN 10, so let's give this VLAN. Let's give it a name. VLAN 10. Let's call it printers. Or let's call it voice VLAN. Oh, the VLAN 10 voice. Okay. Let's go to VLAN 30 and call it general. Okay, so let's see all of the VLANs now. You see that we have VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30, and the default VLAN that are all, we have them here. See the difference: voice, admin, and general. Why do I decide to separate VLAN? The importance of VLAN is that at times there is a broadcast storm in the network. So what happens is that the switch will send a broadcast information to all other ports of the network. If a hacker gains access to the network, he might enter one of these. If he enters the network, since there are no VLANs, he has access to all of these files. So he's going to send a broadcast message, and he can issue an ARP, spoofing, DHCP snooping, all of those attacks. If he sends that attack from here, because all of us are in one single network, it's going to affect every other person. And usually an easy way to even start solving that one, it might not even be a hacker, it might be an issue on the network, is that we need to reboot the switch, and services are running online here. So with VLAN, even if a hacker gains access to a particular VLAN, assume the hacker was here. If there is a storm, it will only affect these two people, while services will continue here and the rest of the network. So the next thing we are going to go ahead and do is to assign ports to this VLAN. Remember that at this point, Solange is able to ping Prof. Prof is IP 20. So Solange is able to ping Prof. You can see the reply. There is a full reply here. So what we are going to do is that we are going to put Prof on the management VLAN. So we go to our switch, and remember the management VLAN is admin, or you want, you can change it to management. Let's exit here and change VLAN 20. Let's name it management. So Prof is connected to this switch using port 20. So we are going to go ahead and switch to interface port 20 is fast. Ethernet 20. We have to switch it. Switch ports have two kinds of mode. You have the access port, you have the trunk port. So let's switch it to an access port. So let's call it switch port mode access. And then let's say switch port access VLAN 20. So you go to VLAN history, you now see that this port has been assigned to what? VLAN 20. So now you see that both Solange, and the rest of the people, they are on one VLAN, so they can no longer talk to Prof. They are not able to gain access to Prof's machine. So you can typically find that out. Let's go back to Solange and let's try to talk to Prof. See that typically Solange is not able to talk to Prof anymore. You have the first time out. So all of that is replying out. So now let's try to see if Solange can still access the other people. Like, can Solange still talk to Mama Maria? Mama Maria is 11. See that Solange is typically able to talk to Mama Maria. So the next thing we are going to go ahead and do is to put the printer on voice VLAN. It should have been the form there. So we go back to our VLAN. The printer is connected to port number 12. So let's go to process and switch port, mode access, switch port access, VLAN. Let me check again. Voice is VLAN 10. Okay. So let's try to go to its interface. Switch port access VLAN 10. Then no shutdown. So you see we have assigned the switch port to VLAN 10. So the next thing is we are going to assign Maria and Solange to a general VLAN. Let's call it 30. So let's go to. So they are from 10 to 11. 10 to 11. VLAN 30. So you now see that here we have VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 10 we have port number 12, which of the management VLAN, number 20, and then you have VLAN 30, which is Mama Maria. So you see that typically here, these two computers will be able to talk to each other, but cannot talk to Prof here, and Prof cannot talk to any other person. Subsequently, we are going to see how to make Prof to have access to these other people, but they will not have access to their private and community VLAN. So let's go down to Mr. Mendoza's office and see what's happening there. Have Mr. Mendoza's computer that is connected to bed 21. Mr. Mendoza is at port number 21. Bed 21. So notice the connection. Notice the connections here. If your IP is 21, I'm putting you on port 21. You can see from here, and you realize that everybody in Mr. Mendoza's office down here, they are still on VLAN 1. Everybody here is still on VLAN 1. So basically, even if I connect these devices together, like let me use port 1 to connect the switches. When I connect the switches together, they will still not be able to talk to each other because they are on VLAN 1. This one is on a different VLAN, VLAN 10, all the others. Let me go ahead and label the VLANs for easy. So we are at this point where we have all of these computers connected together. and they are not talking to each other. Down here, computers will talk to each other. Like if I take Sweet's computer, I can ping Miss Sandosa is 21 192.168 1.21. You see, they can talk to each other. But even though Miss Sandosa is on VLAN 20, if I ping 192.168.1.11, is not able to communicate with 1.11. Why? Because 1.11 is on a different VLAN. So one thing that is important to note here is that it's always important to create a management VLAN. It helps you to be able to lock the switch. So I'm going to go ahead and create a management VLAN here. So I'll call it VLAN 99 on this switch port. Let me see. Let me create VLAN 99. Let's call VLAN 99 support. So interface VLAN 99. Oh, sorry. No, let me call it. Let's give it an IP address. Let's give it 192.168.1.99. So by default, if I assign any device to this VLAN, it should be able to pin this port. To prove that this is working, let's enable, I don't want to enable telnet access on this switch yet. Alright, let's go back to this switch, and then I'm going to go ahead and try to add all of these people to their respective VLAN. We have VLAN 99, which will be used for management, and all of those VLANs. Now have 20, 30, 40, and 10, VLAN 10 for all of this one. So I'm just going to go ahead here and I'm going to configure these VLANs. See, there are no VLANs yet. So I'm going to say VLAN 10, 20, 30, and 40. The packet tracer doesn't recognize this, so VLAN 30, VLAN 40. So let's use one of these examples. Let's use these interfaces to access this VLAN. Let's assign this and let's have to send VLAN 20. So we're going to have interface first settlement 0 is on port 21. We are putting on VLAN 20. I go to VLAN, you see that it is on VLAN 20. We do not give VLAN 20 a name, so let's exit. VLAN 20 is management. VLAN 10, we call it printer, or it was actually voice. And then we have VLAN 30, which we call general. So we go to VLAN history, and then we see all of it. So let's see if Ms. Sandosa is able to ping. So he's able to talk to Prof. So ping 192.168.1.20. You see that Mr. Ndosak is not able yet to talk to Prof, and that is going to introduce us to the next important point in VLAN, which we call trunk port. We also have VLAN UTP, which stands for VLAN trunk protocol. So what happens is that a switch can act on either switch mode or access mode or a port in a switch acts in access mode or trunk port. When you put a switch in a trunk port, it's like a VLAN superhighway. So it transports all VLAN information from this other switch to this second switch. So remember Mr. Ndosaki on VLAN 10 that we are not able to talk to each other yet. He's not able to talk to Prof. So we are going to go ahead and put these switch ports, trunk ports. Now it is important to put authentication because it's called encapsulation. So we are going to, this switch, the DHS switch is connected by port 0, port 1, path Ethernet 0. So I'm going to go to that interface 01 and switch port trunk encapsulation dot this one doesn't support. Let me go to switch port mode trunk. This one does not support encapsulation.1 here, but we should. It's not been assigned, it's still down. So let me say no shutdown. So let's go to the other port and let me change it. By default, intelligence switches will just change, but I don't want to. It's advisable to always configure. So let's go to interface fast internet 01 switch port mode trunk port trunk. It's supposed to actually be switch port trunk encapsulation.1 here, but it's not being supported. So no shutdown. The in production environment, this command doesn't work at all. Okay, here. So now these switch ports are in trunk mode. So let's go back here and try to see this adversary. See, he's able to now talk to each other. You see, he is talking to Prof because they are on VLAN 20. But if you try to ping Ma Maria, who is on 10, you see he does not have access to Ma Maria. But if I migrate him now to VLAN 10, you see that he is going to be able to ping Ma Maria. Ma Maria is IP 10 and on VLAN 30, he's not able to talk. So let me go back to the switch port here. He is on port 21. Let me put port 21 on VLAN 30. You see that this will be interface first Ethernet 21 switch port access VLAN 30. If I go back to Mr. Ndosa, you'll see that you should be able to see Maria. Let's move. Let's go back and verify. going to see if it's still able to ping prop. Okay, let's try to see if he has been assigned to. Yes, it's on VLAN 30, so he should be able to ping. Let's try again. Yeah, it was taking time. See, he's now able to ping Mama Maria, but he's no longer able to ping crop. So this is the importance of VLANs, and subsequently we come to see how to secure. I mentioned something like if you just add another machine in this network, it will be on VLAN 1. So if you add another one here, they should be able to talk to each other. So tomorrow, subsequent videos, we are going to see how to look at the switch ports, see that they are actually assigned to those various ports. Tomorrow we are going to see how to add more VLAN protocols and how to introduce a router and make all of these people access the server at a higher level. Thank you for listening. If you like this video, do well to share and give your comments so that we can keep improving and making service better. Roland. So basically what we have been saying is that the VLAN helps to divide a single switch into multiple switches, and unless you connect each switch to the other, they cannot talk to each other. Another simple way of doing this would have been to connect a cable directly from this switch port from here, connect the cable directly from here, from VLAN 20 to VLAN 20, then on this switch like a single switch. So you see that for 10 VLANs you need to run 10 cables, and once you connect another cable here, you are going to have to avoid loops. And the other problem you might face subsequently is when you have like 50 to 100 switches or 200 switches to computer, like eventually when we have the hospital system, how are you going to manually set all of these VLANs in all the individual switches? And that is why I told you that the next thing we were going to talk about is VLAN trunking protocol. So we'll see that in our next class, and thank you for